You're watching the Savera and I'm Shefali. United States President Donald Trump formally declared the first wing movement Antifa as a major terrorist organization, just days after the assassination of his closely allied and prominent conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The announcement, made through a post on Trump's social media platform Truth Social, has reignited fierce debate over political extremism, domestic terrorism, and the rising tide of ideological violence in the country. In his statement, Trump wrote, "I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster, as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funds Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter." The president, however, did not clarify the specific parameters his administration would use to implement the designation. Critics point out that Antifa is not a formal or centralized organization with defined leadership or a hierarchical structure, but rather a loosely affiliated movement of left-wing activists who often mobilize at protests against far-right groups. This lack of organizational framework raises legal and practical questions about how the government intends to carry out the classification and what enforcement actions will be followed. The move comes in the wake of the killing of Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old conservative commentator and founder of the influential student movement Turning Point USA. Kirk was gunned down while delivering remarks during a campus event at Utah Valley University on September 10. He was shot in the neck in front of a student audience, rushed to the hospital, but succumbed to his injuries shortly after. His assassination sent shockwaves through the conservative movement and intensified calls from the right of a tougher crackdown on left-wing radicalism. Authorities in Utah has charged 24-year-old Tyler Robinson as the prime suspect in Kirk's murder. Prosecutors have filed an aggravated murder charge along with 6 additional counts and have already announced their intention to pursue the death penalty. According to court documents, Robinson's mother told investigators that over the past year, her son had become increasingly political, leaning towards progressive causes such as LGBTQ rights. The document also revealed that Robinson was in a relationship with a male roommate who was in process of transitioning to female. Trump has seized on Kirk's death as emblematic of what he describes as an escalating wave of left-wing violence. In a recent interview with Fox News, he drew a sharp distinction between far-right activists and the left, saying, "I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right often less are radical because they don't want to see crime. The radical on the left, they are the problem, and they are vicious and horrible and politically savvy." Charlie Kirk was regarded as one of the most influential conservative youth leaders in the United States. At just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA in 2012, building it into country's largest conservative student organization with over 800 active chapters across universities and colleges. TPUSA played a critical role in mobilizing young conservative voters during the 2024 election, significantly boosting Trump's successful re-election campaign. Kirk's assassination has not only shaken the conservative base, but has also elevated him as a martyr-like figure within the movement. Trump's decision to label Antifa as a terror organization is expected to deepen political polarization in the country. Supporters of the move argue that left-wing extremist has grown unchecked and now poses a direct threat to public safety and democracy. Critics, on the other hand, caution that the designation should be misused to suppress legitimate dissent, given Antifa's amorphous nature and the difficulty in distinguishing between activists, protest movements, and ordinary citizens expressing opposition to far-right politics. As the investigation into Kirk's killing continues, Trump's declaration has already set the stage for renewed confrontation between the White House and the civil rights groups, who are likely to challenge the legality of branding a decentralized political movement as a terror organization. The decision also underscores the degree of which political violence, once considered fringe, has moved into the center of America's increasingly turbulent political landscape. That's all for now in this update. Stay tuned to the Savera. Download the app. Follow us on various social media platforms.